I can't hear you. Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live interactive web television. This is your own platform where you can engage with us as we discuss different issues. You can leave us your posts, you can write into us, you can join the conversation live, in fact, just by clicking on a participation button. You can send us your video comments and of course leave us your tweets at #IndiaPostLive and @IndiaPostLive. I'm Nilanjana Banerjee and today we are going to talk about Love Jihad going bust or not. Well, what exactly is Love Jihad and how real is Love Jihad? That is the question we are asking. The term Love Jihad was coined, in fact, quite a few years back. They also called it the Romeo Jihad. In fact, in Kerala, the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council way back in 2009 first brought up this issue of forcible conversion of women. Then in Karnataka, the Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti raised the issue of Romeo Jihad or Love Jihad. Now, over the past few months, the issue has been raked up by Hindu parties and Hindu outfits, and in fact, it got a lot of. It became a campaign also by the BJP after the alleged kidnapping, gang rape, and forcible conversion of a 20-year-old girl from Meerut. Now, what happened thereafter seems to have put water on that entire campaign, and that is the girl on Sunday retracted her statement, and that has led to a lot of embarrassment among these outfits. First, take a look at this audiovisual, and then we will talk to our guests.
Love Jihad. The slogan was turned into a campaign by the BJP and its ideological affiliates during the last month's assembly by-elections in western Uttar Pradesh. A woman from Meerut became the centerpiece in this. She had made sensational allegations of having been abducted and forcibly married and converted to Islam. However, 2 months later, the story has taken an interesting turn. The woman in question has now claimed that she had run away with a Muslim man whom she loved. She also alleged that BJP had paid her family 25,000 rupees for concocting the story of her abduction. She also fears that her family was planning to kill her. The Hindu outfits, however, allege a conspiracy in the U-turn by the woman. BJP leaders now want CBI to probe the case. Interestingly, the Love Jihad campaign had backfired on the BJP and it had lost 3 of the 11 assembly seats for which elections were held. The question India Post Live is asking is, in a society which is already not kind to those who marry outside their caste or religion, how much political mileage can Hindu groups actually gain from such campaigns?
All right, so once again, like I said, the question we are asking is Love Jihad real? And how much mileage from the concept of Love Jihad can such groups actually gain? How much of political mileage can they actually gain? I'm joined online by Sunita Aran. Sunita ma'am is resident editor, Hindustan Times from Lucknow. Hi ma'am, how are you?
I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Ma'am, this entire thing that happened in Meerut, the girl coming back, retracting her statement, saying that she fears for her life from her own family. She refused to go back home. She's now been kept in a women's shelter, Nari Niketan. You know, hasn't that poured water on this entire phenomenon of Love Jihad that the Hindu groups and the BJP were propagating, especially during the by-elections?
Exactly. You see, what is love jihad? I think we'll have to understand that as society, there are changes in the society.
Yeah.
Youngsters are coming and mingling with each other and getting married and falling in love. So when the society,
Yes.
with very communal feelings, or when love gets a political overtone, it becomes love jihad. Otherwise, I don't think so. There is any reason for a jihad when you're talking about love. And Meerut is a case where you see it was a very, very serious case when conversion was talked about. Now, conversion is a very big issue. It was not just rape, it was more than that. It was conversion, which is a very, very sensitive issue in India.
Right.
Now, here, I think the way BJP went and politicized it, and now they're feeling embarrassed because there is a U turn totally.
Yes.
So they're trying to puncture the police theory. So, what do we believe? I think the best is to let people live as they want to live and not jump onto conclusions whether there was a conversion or it was what it was, and not politicize it. As you
Right.
know, Western UP is really criminal. The sentiments are so highly charged.
Right.
I think these issues should be left to the young to settle themselves and not politicize them.
Okay. Ma'am, okay, all right. Now let me now bring in Nupur Jhunjhunwala. Nupur Jhunjhunwala is director of JMD Diagnostics, and she joins us from Kolkata. Nupur, thank you so much for joining the conversation on India Post Live. Welcome. Nupur, I can't hear you. It's slightly better. Okay, Nupur, I just want to ask you, the Hindu outfits, they had said that the Muzaffarnagar riots and the subsequent gang rape in Meerut, they were actually sparked off by Muslim men who were out on a mission, who were out to forcibly convert Hindu girls. Now, my question to you is, someone like you, if you could just tell me your point, your opening comments on this, how can you, brazenly say that, any interfaith marriage, how can you look at it as a ploy, an insidious ploy to just convert Hindu women?
I'm sorry. I think there's a problem here understanding the very concept of love jihad.
Okay.
It is being politicized to mean that any interfaith marriage is love jihad. Whereas there is a point where there is a misrepresentation of the man's faith. In every love jihad case, even when Mr. Umen Chandy spoke about it, or
Yeah.
the Catholic Church spoke about it, or the Commission for Social Harmony of the Kerala Catholic Bishop spoke about it,
Okay.
or the Kerala High Court spoke about it, there was a point of misrepresentation of faith. And that's what leads to love jihad. It is not about consensual marriage where a woman is converting to Islam because she wants to marry the man. It is equivalent to saying that if there's a rape victim and because of pressure she retracts her statement, are we going to go and point fingers to the women's group who rallied for her? If not, then why are we raising fingers at a certain political party who rallied behind a girl who said that she was a victim of love jihad? If the statement has been retracted,
Right.
it is her business.
Yeah.
It is she who's saying that she's retracted the business. There is absolutely no proof to back the story that there was no pressure on her. There is no proof to justify why she would have retracted her story. So I think politicizing the issue is being done by journalists who are trying to, sort of gain mileage out of it, or opposition parties are trying to gain mileage out of it.
Okay, Nupur, the case is sub judice, but don't you think this raises serious questions? Because she has said that a BJP leader paid her family 25,000 rupees to stick to her story.
Right. If I'm correct, the money was paid after the case was filed with the police, correct?
Yeah, but she was paid the money, she claims, to stick to the
Right.
story.
But if the story wasn't true, why did she go to the police in the first place? Who was paying her then?
All right. Okay. Let me ask Sunita ma'am to respond to that, because Nupur Jhunjhunwala says that journalists are kind of wanting mileage out of this entire thing.
You see, one has to understand the context.
Yeah.
Now, West UP, we have problems in West UP where the communal feelings are surcharged. Now, a girl raises a question. She talks about conversion and forcible rape. BJP stages a demonstration,
Yes.
and then after that they make a charge against the government that they're not going to arrest the culprits because they are Muslims. 10 of them are arrested.
Yeah.
Now when the girl retraces her statement, they're saying she's been pressured to do it. So best for BJP or Samajwadi Party or political parties is to leave it to the police to investigate. Why are they trying to politically encash it? That is the question. When they try to politicize such issues, the problem arises then. If it was not, the Muslims will not be arrested, they were arrested. Now the girl is being pressured. So now everywhere, you don't have to try to get votes. You know, if you consolidate Hindus, so you are sure of your Hindu votes. If they consolidate Muslims, these are social issues and they should be handled socially. Politics should be kept out of it.
Right, but are politicians leaving this out of it because Yogi Adityanath.
That's what I'm saying.
What Yogi
that they're trying to
Adityanath did, ma'am, he was in charge of the by-elections in Uttar Pradesh. He made
Yes.
speeches saying that for every girl who is converted, there should be
100, they get 100.
100
There
Muslims.
is another thing. I don't know why the national leadership of the BJP remains quiet. I'm not defending, I'm not condoning Samajwadi Party. They may be equally responsible for it. But point is, the national leadership talks about development, which
Yeah.
Mr. Modi is doing it very well.
Yeah.
Whereas the state leadership is talking about conversion and converting Muslim girls into Hindu girls and protesting on such social issues. I think these are best left for social organizations to fight and find a answer.
Yeah, Rajnath Singh, of course, distanced himself at a press conference. He said, Love
May I come
Jihad,
in here,
what is
please?
that? Sure, Nupur, please come in. Please respond.
I have a question for ma'am because I'm obviously younger to her and I would like some guidance. Initially, we were saying that we shouldn't politicize the issues. Politicians should keep away. They should just shut up and let the society take care of it and the police take care of it. Cut 2, ma'am makes a statement that why is the national leadership quiet about it? Maybe
When I'm
it's
talking about no. Let
Yeah.
me correct you. When I'm saying why are they quiet, I'm talking about why are they not silencing their state leaders. I'm not talking about why they're not talking on the issue. I'm talking about if they've decided, like Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, rightly said from Red Fort ramparts, that let's keep all controversial issues under the let's not touch them and let's focus on development and let's have a very focused approach to India. So when
no, ma'am. He actually he also said that rapes in such cases should not be psychoanalyzed, and I think political.
It's not rape only. I
It's
think the
forcible
bigger issue was
conversion
conversion.
as well.
The country
Yes.
would have burnt, by
Ma'am,
making.
could I please just finish what I'm saying because I lose track. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the Kerala High Court said that there were 3,000 to 4,000 forceful conversions just between 2009 and 2012. Was the Kerala High Court politicizing the issue as well?
No, that time they were. I think if the Kerala was talking about, they was talking about the Christian conversions and not the Muslim and Hindu conversion, which has it.
Oh,
like,
one second, ma'am. It was talking about Christian girls converted to Islam forcefully.
Yes.
So it's political when Hindu girls are converted and not political when
No,
Christian girls
I'm
are
not saying it is political when Hindu girls are converted, but you can't make false allegations. I'm not saying conversion
Who
is
is
not
making
happening.
false allegations, ma'am?
Who's not? Because that girl had initially made a statement, then after that she has retraced. What I'm saying is that BJP could have kept quiet, let police do their work.
I'll tell you, ma'am. I'm a young 28-year-old average voter. If some ailment comes to me and if organization is trying to convert my faith forcefully or any problem that I face, I would want my elected representative to stand up and say that this is wrong and we will back you because I
Yes,
have
fine.
casted my vote for it.
No,
So
but
how is
that-
that politicizing it?
No, Nupur, that is fine, but it depends how they handle it. You're not supposed to make statements and further incite communal feelings. If they want to give you any type of succor, they can. But when they come to the streets and when they make the issue, they take to the streets and they try to communalize the environment, which is already so disturbed. So that is what I'm saying. If supposing as a
Ma'am,
young
with all
Basically,
due
adding fuel to the fire is what Sunita ma'am is saying,
Right.
which is
If
wrong.
I could
Nupur,
just make one last point and then we can go ahead. Ma'am, if there was, let's assume that a Hindu man had raped a Muslim woman, correct? And there were groups lobbying and saying that this man should be punished. And in a Hindu majority area, the police should not shy away from arresting the said man.
Hmm.
I, as a Hindu, would be rallying with the police,
Hmm.
right? The communal tension, when you say that such an issue is being communalized, the underlying assumption is that even the Muslims who have nothing to do with the issue, who are law abiding citizens, are being bracketed with the rapist, saying that if you say that he's a rapist and he should be punished, and this is a social evil that is being, that is taking place in Uttar Pradesh, all the other law abiding Muslims are going to come out on the road and start rioting, which is an absolute ridiculous allegations on the law-abiding Muslims of the country, isn't it?
No, no, I don't get your point. What exactly are you trying to ask me? Because when you're talking about a criminal is a criminal, why do you want to
Exactly.
bring a Hindu or a Muslim? It's not a question of Hindu-Muslim.
Because the crime concerned is of faith conversion. How do you talk about a crime of faith conversion without
Okay,
talking
Nupur,
about
let me
the
ask
faith
you.
that is being converted?
Nupur, let me ask you something. What I understand from what Sunita ma'am is saying, and the question that I want to ask you is that, okay, she first said that, okay, she was gang raped, she was converted, she was forcibly married off and all of that. Later, she says that, this has happened. Now, the case is sub judice, so let's not go into exactly this case, but interfaith marriages do happen. Intercaste marriages do happen, and that itself in an Indian society is frowned upon. People do not take it. They ostracize the girl. They throw the girl out of the family, out of the caste, out of the religion. She's not allowed entry into the church or the mosque or the temple. I mean, it doesn't really matter which religion we're talking about.
Absolutely.
My question is, why should an outfit or a party try to gain political mileage out of something like this? Whether the girl married for love, whether she was forcibly converted is something for the police to investigate. But to raise this issue in an already polarized community, in an already communally sensitive community like Western Uttar Pradesh, I think, Sunita ma'am, that is what you were trying to say. To raise it and to say that every such conversion is but a ploy to destroy Hinduism. Are we saying Hinduism can be so easily destroyed? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I think you've got your facts a little incorrect. I don't think, look, I don't speak for BJP or for Congress because this is an issue that has been discussed by Congress because it was introduced by Mr. Omen Chandy. It has been discussed by BJP.
That's what I said at the beginning.
By the Catholic Church. It has been discussed, across the board. So let's not get into politics for now. When you talking about a problem in an already polarized situation, for a moment, since we talk about women's empowerment and women's right and such, the lady in question came forward with a charge that she was forcefully gang raped and converted to a certain religion, right?
Right.
Right. So now, what is the elected representative
to take it out to the streets?
Not talk about it because it might lead to a religiously charged situation.
Okay, let me, ma'am, Sunita ma'am, if you could just wait. Ma'am, okay.
I would like to add one thing.
I want to bring in Asha ma'am. Okay. All right.
One has to go into the background. You see, there are string of incidents that are being, they are using to polarize the community. Look at Badaयूं. What happened after Badaयूं, the hanging case? There again, the CBI probed it, and later on they found the state theory file that it was a case of honor killing.
Yeah.
There again, it was politicized. Then you look at Muradabad loudspeaker case. You see, I'm not talking about why BJP is giving support, giving rehabilitation, giving financial help to a poor family is fine. But what I'm trying to say is that on certain issues, especially like conversion, one has to be very serious. And this girl should also be punished if she has made a false statement.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Okay, let me,
get the Badaयूं case or any other case which is not related to conversion is silliness as far as this is concerned.
Let me bring in Asha Khosa, my senior colleague, who in fact has travelled to Badaयूं as well, and she can give us a better perspective of this entire thing. Ma'am, you just heard that very heated debate between Sunita, Arun and Nupur. Can you unmute the mic, Asha, first? Your mic is on mute. Just unmute it, please, and then I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can I hear you? Can you say something?
Yes.
Okay. I can hear you now. All right.
Please give us your perspective. I haven't yet taken opening statements from you. I apologize. That it was a very heated debate going on there.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yes, very good.
It was enthralling, in fact. For me,
You
it
know,
was enthralling.
both of you have discussed the political aspect of it. I'll go to the social aspect. In fact, I visited Badani twice, actually, before PBI has come to a conclusion, sort of conclusion, that, it was an honor killing. I would tell you that was in the air in the village.
Okay, ma'am, Asha ma'am, your audio is very unclear. There's a lot of disturbance. Let me try and...
I'll just take 1 minute. I'll take a
I can't understand.
Yeah, I know, even I couldn't understand what she was saying. Just mute your
Nirmal,
mic.
can I ask one question to Nupur?
Yeah, sure,
Yes,
please. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Is she confident that BJP would have taken up the girls' issue if the perpetrator was not a Muslim?
Yes, I am.
You are. Okay.
Are there
That's
any, if there are forced conversion cases where a Muslim girl is being converted to Hinduism or a Hindu girl is being converted to Christianity, I think any political party should rally behind that particular victim without giving leverage to which community is being converted or to which community.
You know,
Okay. But usually,
Sunita,
go ahead.
Sunita ma'am, I was reading this article, by Seema Chishti, and she has said that, in case interfaith marriages are a happy marriage and people are living happily ever after, so to speak, the Hindu outfits just brush it off as a, 1 in a million case, as a rare case. Okay, fine, okay, this has happened, but otherwise, the thing that we see, and Nupur, is that is what the worrying phenomenon is, that any interfaith marriage is seen as a ploy to destroy Hinduism. I'm talking of that issue here. Why is it being seen as a ploy, as a deliberate, insidious ploy to destroy Hinduism is my question, especially in a place which is already... And by the way, Sunita ma'am will also agree that this did not work. The BJP lost 3 seats out of the 11, in the by-elections. So it seemed that the Love Jihad issue, of course, they did not put it in their manifesto and all of that, but the issue backfired. The state... go ahead.
One thing I would like to tell you. You see, the problem, I think we have to go a few years back. Now, after Malyana right cases, a lot of Muslim families moved to rural areas and they bought land there and they settled there. Their children have grown up. The Muslim and the Jat families are meeting each other and the children are growing up and they're getting married, they're falling in love and all that. So there is a very, very social thing. Suddenly BJP, with a very conservative, they're against love affairs, they're against celebration of Valentine's Day, they're against, Friendship Day. So suddenly they found they're losing their vote bank and they found a very volatile issue which they could pick up because the Jats are very, very conservative.
Ma'am, I'll come in whenever you allow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Even the Jats are as conservative, Nupur, is what the Jat community is also very conservative, is what Sunita ma'am is saying.
Okay, I have a slight contention here. Love Jihad is being viewed as just 2 people getting married and making babies and living happily ever after. I would like to just discuss this one case. I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Right. I would like to discuss this one case of this certain lady called Deepa Cherian. She was 31 years old. She was a former Christian housewife who was forcibly converted to Islam. And she was later arrested because she was forced to distribute SIM cards to terror suspects. So what I'm trying to say is it's not just an issue of 2 people getting married and interfaith marriages, which is a problem for conservative communities, but there is a larger issue here. There are gullible girls who are being used to, to fulfill certain, ends, and they're being used as means to fulfill terrorism. Okay. They're being used to distribute SIM cards to terror suspects, for God's sake. So it's not just about getting married and living happily ever after, which seems to be a problem for conservative communities. That is belittling an issue. There are larger issues here at play. And let's face it, if you're saying Hinduism khatre mein hai because Islam conversions are happening, what else would would be a justifiable mean to forcibly converting girls, either from the Hindu community or from the Christian community. Let's just not restrict this to a Hindu-Muslim equation.
Okay, let me try and get an Asha Khosa if her audio is all right.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you better. Please go ahead. Please respond to what Nupur has just said, and the conversation, because we are hearing you for the first time now. Ma'am, can you please unmute your mic? Please unmute your mic. Okay, I think her audio is still very poor. Your audio is still very poor, Asha ma'am. All right. Sunita ma'am, do you want to respond to that? That women who are being converted to Islam are forced to distribute SIM cards to terror suspects.
You don't have to convert women to Islam to distribute SIM cards. There's so many, that पैसे के लिए कुछ भी करेगा इंसान. But I don't think so. Conversion and SIM cards together, you can connect the two so much. But yes, and there are other.
This was a specific case I was talking about. This was
One
not
or
a
two
general
cases you could
statement.
find some cases like that, but you don't have to convert. There are Muslim boys and girls who are willing to,
Do it for free.
Yeah. So they don't have to convert girls to distribute SIM cards.
All right. So, Nupur, can I just ask you something? See, no one is disputing that misrepresentation of your religion. I think what you started your argument with was that Muslim boys pretending to be Hindus, right? And luring girls away, and subsequently, I think that was what you meant when you said misrepresentation of religion?
I think that's what I'm sorry, there's a lot of disturbance from one of the speakers. I can't really hear you properly.
Okay.
But I'll just keep on talking anyway.
Yeah,
That's not what I have said. That's what the Kerala High Court has said. That Love Jihad is a problem of ethnic cleansing in Kerala. The demography is being affected, and this is being funded by, terror outfits. So this is not what I have said at all. This is not my conclusion. This is what the Kerala High Court
I'm saying this was your argument. This was what you had started your argument with. What my question is, while no one, I'm sure even Sunita ma'am or none of us are in agreement, or none of us really feel that it's a forcible conversion of anything forcible. Sexual intercourse, which is rape, forcible marriage, all of that is wrong. Forcing someone. What is the solution? And are why are Hindu communities feeling so threatened by this entire issue? And is this the way it's going to be? Every time something like this happens, every time a case like this happens, it is the Hindu outfits who have to come out in defense and say, no, we have to do something, and this goes on, and there are riots and there are killings. What is the way forward, Nupur?
I think just a small collection. It's not the Hindu community. It's the Hindu community. It's the Christian community. It's the Yazidis. It's the Israelis. It's the Americans. It's the people from London. I think this is a global problem. It's not just restricted to the Hindu community. So let's not make this a Hindu-Muslim problem, because I think that's what leads to riots. Not talking about a social problem. It's about reducing a problem to Hindu-Muslim that causes riots. B, I think the solution is that misrepresentation has to stop. And for that, you have to have extremely strict anti-conversion laws, where if a girl has to be converted to Islam, the man has to come forward and in front of family and the courts present all facts about his background, about his true identity. And once the true identity is revealed, and once there is a background check, if the girl still wants to convert, she can go ahead. I think the problem is of forced conversion under false pretexts. I mean, I was reading about this case where a boy fell in love with a girl, a Muslim boy, pretended to be a Hindu, and fell in love with a girl while he was attending satsang. Now, come on, you can't tell me that's just innocent, right? I mean, why would he go to satsang, and why would he put tilak and pretend to be a Hindu at all?
Okay, Asha ma'am, can you respond to that? I hope your audio is better.
Am I audible now, Nilandra?
Yeah, tell me.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, I was very patiently listening to this conversation. Very interesting so far. Nupur has stood her ground, and so has Sunita. Actually, I have 2 points to make. One is that if, when Nupur says that there have been, she has given some instances that there have been cases where people have deliberately plotted to get married to women with the view of converting them to their faith and also using them possibly as supporters of terrorists. Right, Nupur?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are only a few cases like that, Nupur, that a few cases does not make a trend. It may be an aberration, which happen in all the societies. So if you allow that aberration to be made into an advantage by a political party to spread hatred and venom in a larger society, that is not acceptable. And by and large, so far, Indian youth, Indian Muslim youth, have by and large stayed away from insurgency. That is admitted by even BJP's top leaders. So if you keep doing these things, not you per se, I mean, the
I
BJP
know, I know.
keeps doing, pushing people to the wall. I think we are driving people to become terrorists. We should not encourage this. And also, I must tell you the other point which I want to make is women, particularly in this belt, Western Uttar Pradesh and so many other parts of India, the issue is linked to the rights of women, the status of women. Women are not free to marry on their own. They're not free to even decide whom to marry, what to do with their lives. So that is one issue which is involved here. There's a stranglehold of society, the family, everybody on a woman. Woman's life is, she's under everybody. She cannot decide on
She's
her own.
controlled.
If you see this Meerut case, I mean, she's somebody's property, somebody's
Exactly.
wife, somebody's
Yeah.
and what she wants to do with her life, she's not allowed to even think about that. This is what happened in Miss Meerut case. That is why if we are saying that action should be taken against this Meerut lady because she spoke lies, allegedly lies, at one stage. Either she was lying in the first instance or she's lying now. But we have to also understand that she's under tremendous pressure from her family, from society, for marrying a person whom they don't like, who's from a different faith, and that state also must have put pressure on her that you are becoming our daughter-in-law, we accept only conversion. So a woman is essentially under pressure. So this is
Ma'am,
another aspect of this conversation.
Right.
ma'am, could I ask you a couple of questions, please?
Sure.
Ma'am, when the Kerala High Court said that I'm sorry, when Umen Chandi said to the Kerala High Court that there have been about 2,667 women who have been forcibly converted to Islam, right? We can assume that out of the 2,667 cases, maybe a few hundred cases were cases which were where the women were being used for terrorism. But in other cases, it was a forcible conversion to Islam. So, what could be the possible motive of such conversions?
Can I make it?
I'll,
Can I reply
I'll
to?
tell you a practical thing what happens on the ground.
Sunita ma'am, just a
I'll
second.
tell you what happens. Forget about law and all. uh, Women are generally, when they marry a man of a different faith, this is a harsh reality in India. They have to forcibly convert, not by terrorists always,
Yes.
but their respective families, by their husband families, by the traditions. I know, a Buddhist Christian girl. She was from a Buddhist Christian family. She marries a Muslim, very liberal guy, very high, highly placed in society. He did not actually believe in conversions, but he told her, if you marry me, you have to become Muslim, maybe for the sake of tokenism, because my sister will not get married if I am seen to be marrying somebody outside the faith. So the pressure is always forced conversion when a woman marries
That
a
would be
person of
perceived
different
as a
faith. It's
forced
a community
conversion as well.
conversion.
That would be
Ma'am,
perceived as a forced conversion. Sunita ma'am, please come in. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing before I leave.
Yeah.
Now the issue is mass conversion, what she's talking about, that is in Kerala, which has happened.
Yeah.
It has not happened in West UP. Second, there are a whole lot of takes in the air right now that there are Muslim boys who are wearing a red thread,
Yeah.
trying to, I
Entice.
feel girls are smart enough to discern whether the boy is a Muslim or a Hindu. Just because he attends a satsang or he wears a red thread doesn't make him Hindu at all. mass conversion
Ma'am,
can be an
I'm
issue,
sorry.
but
I'm
a simple
sorry. With all
conversion
due
is not.
respect, ma'am. With all due respect, ma'am, you have completely belittled the issue. The fact that we are assuming that the boy in question is not at fault, either you are appeasing a certain community, which is absolutely sad. And if we want to do that, let's not talk about women liberation, because the women here are being taken for a ride, whether Hindu, whether Muslim, whether Christians, any interfaith marriage which has a result of misrepresentation of faith from either party is a
You think
problem.
women are so gullible? You think women are so gullible? They
Ma'am,
can
you and I
alone,
think,
they can
ma'am,
fall
you
in
and
love.
I,
No,
ma'am,
even in
you and I
rural
think
areas,
women
do
are
you
not
think
so.
girls are so gullible? I don't think so.
I'm
But
sorry,
ma'am, we are
ma'am.
talking of a society where girls are not as educated.
Tell me.
We are talking of a society where girls are not as educated, girls are not as aware.
Ma'am,
No,
you and
but
I
let
may
me
not be gullible, but come on, you said that in Western UP they're uneducated.
No, I'm not saying girls
No,
in Western UP are uneducated, but
No,
definitely.
not you.
Acha.
Not you, but
Okay.
of course, the ratio of illiterate, slightly less educated or gullible women are obviously more there.
Okay.
And I
Let
had
me,
a lady who
Nupur,
said that.
your points are well taken.
I'm pushing off. I have to go
Yeah,
somewhere.
Sunita
Okay?
ma'am, before you go, give me 30 seconds for your final comments. The way forward. The way forward. This is a women's issue, as we all agree. It is a women's rights issue. What is the way forward to prevent society from being communalized by these incidents, through these incidents? What is the way forward?
This is for the society to decide whether they are okay with interfaith marriages or not. If they are okay with interfaith marriages, then conversion is not a major issue. There's so many interfaith marriages happening where there's no conversion. They live together and happily they live in the urban areas. The problem is when politics come into it. Politicians should keep away until unless a girl has been brutalized, beaten, raped, and otherwise I think society is strong enough to handle such cases. But in case of forcible conversion, I'm very sure the police should punish. There should be a very, very serious punishment, and that's the only way forward, not by launching Love Jihad campaigns. I don't think so it is going to do anything good for Muslims or for Hindus, both.
All right. Thank you so much.
Or for Christians, ma'am.
Thank you so
And
much.
Christians also.
And Christians also. All right. Thank you, Sunita Aryan, ma'am. Thank you so much. You have to go somewhere, I know. Thanks a lot. She has disconnected. I hope she heard my thank you. Asha, ma'am, the way forward. Nupur has stood her ground. She has quoted a lot of incidents. The way forward. Do you agree with Sunita, ma'am, that society has to be strong?
I agree with what Sunita said, and I
Yeah.
think men have to be empowered with laws, legally they have to be empowered, and socially they have to be accepted, as perfect human beings who can decide for themselves. We cannot forever live under the stranglehold of our families and society. So that has to be done. The different side groups, the governments, they have to work together to enact laws and also to empower women socially. That the society accepts that as empowered people.
All right. All
Secondly,
right.
I think our laws, implementation
Yes.
of laws has to be much more done much more strictly. This is not being done. Police somewhere, they are also communal at some stage. They do not take serious view of such matters. That forcible conversion of faith is done.
Right. All right. Thank you so much. Nupur, you have, of course, stood your ground, but let me tell you that we had done a previous show on Love Jihad earlier. And in my studio, I had Dr. Ijaz Ilmi of the BJP. And he had a very simple solution, which even Asha ma'am has just said. He said the best recourse is the law. The best way is to allow two people to practice their own religions, and you can just get married to each other if you want to marry for love, that is. But you have stood your ground, and your points have been taken, and I'm sure all our viewers on India Post Live are also, who are listening, have heard you very, very carefully and clearly, and we look forward to their comments. Thank you so much, Nupur, all the way from Kolkata, joining us. Asha Khosa, thank you so much for your comments. And all of you out there who have been watching our show. A very, very contentious issue, Love Jihad, as you saw from the sentiments of Nupur. Before I wrap up, let me bring you some. Yes, Nupur.
One last statement, please.
You want to do the last, okay, but there's still more. I'm going to be playing out some tweets. You want to have the
You can
last
carry
word?
on.
The last word is
last
mine, Nupur. The last
my
word
answer.
has to be mine.
Absolutely. My only contention is
Yeah.
that this fear that if there is a social evil which involves a certain community or involves two, three such communities, if it's spoken about, it's going to spark
That is why we
riots,
are, yeah,
right?
right.
I think this fear needs to go. Let's not club all Muslims together and say that if there is a social problem and we talk about it, the entire community is going to come together and start rioting. Let's give them a little credit. Uh, they are as educated and as Indian as you and me.
Yeah.
So I think this fear needs to go, and we need to discuss and talk about social evil openly.
Right.
And no political party has the right to appease at the cost of another community.
All
So
right. Point
that's all
taken.
I need to say.
Point taken, Nupur. But I shall have the last word before I say goodbye to all of you. I would like to play out some tweets that have emerged out of this entire issue of Love Jihad. Coming up on your screen. Why blame the BJP? People taunt me, they say that my body and womb is impure. The Hindutva project is inherently casteist too. Okay? Why blame the BJP? Rape, dowry and sexual harassment laws. And I think she continues to say something. Okay, I don't think we have part 2 of that tweet, but anyway. So yeah, people are talking about that on people are talking about this issue on social media, and definitely the Love Jihad issue is a big issue. So that's it on our show. I would like to know what you think about this entire controversy. Does Love Jihad really exist? As Nupur is very strongly saying that yes, it does. There is some kind of ethnic cleansing that is happening, and people must sit up and talk about it irrespective of which community. Or is it something that political parties are only trying to use for their advantage? Those are the questions we have asked on the show. Very, very strong comments from Nupur Jhunjhunwala, Sunita Aran and Asha Khos. I would like to thank all three of them for joining us on the conversation. Your comments, your tweets and your posts on this entire issue, we will wait for. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.